Alright you guys, so starting off, I'm just going to take my Believe Beauty Lock It In Eyeshadow Primer just to get my eyes prepped for the shadows. And I have a mixture of like some new products, some old products for today's video. Some that's like semi-new that I already tried but I want to play with again. So alright, so moving on into the eyeshadow palette. I wanted to play with the Wet n Wild Color Icon eyeshadow palette. I have the one called Go Commando, which I featured in my Ulta haul. If you guys haven't seen that video, I would have it linked for you guys to check it out. But I kind of figured I would just play with this palette because I'm dying to see if it's going to be better than the E.L.F. bite-sized shadows or just as good. So like I mentioned in the video, you do get one extra shadow in the one by Wet n Wild compared to the E.L.F. one, but the E.L.F. one is amazing, so you definitely do get your money's worth with those. So starting off, I'm just going to take the color right here and apply that into my crease as my transition color. Lots of kickback with that color. It's definitely a pretty transitional color and it's super pigmented too. Alright, going into the lid color, I'm going to take the one right over here. Is that really pretty like champagne-y color if you guys can see it? Just going to pop that in, just going to pop it on top of my lid as my lid color. I'm going to go in with the brush dry and then if needed I'll just wet the brush. But I know the one by E.L.F., when I used the one, I want to say it was the Carnival palette, that one with the blue color in it, that blue was so pigmented. Even with the brush not being wet, it was super pigmented. So I'm hoping this one is the same way, but this shade is really light, so we'll see. Alright, going back into the palette, I'm going to take the dark brown color right here on the end and just pop that into my outer V. So I will say the palette is definitely a nice palette for the price point. Shadows are definitely pigmented, so you do get your color payoff. And they're pretty much like your standard Wet n Wild eyeshadow palette. I will say comparing this to the E.L.F. one, I like the E.L.F. one just a little bit more because I feel like the formula is a little bit more buttery. And then with this one, you get a lot of kickback with their shadows. So I don't mind fallout, but this one is like a lot of fallout. So again, it's a nice palette. Definitely your traditional Wet n Wild shadows. Pigmentation is there. And it's not bad for the price point, but I would say in terms of this or the one by E.L.F., I would definitely say just get the one by E.L.F. because it's cheaper. I want to say it might be a little bit cheaper or the same price, but just the consistency of the shadows of the E.L.F. one is a little bit better than the one from Wet n Wild in terms of the palette like this. Alright, so just gonna put a pause on the eyes and move on into the face. I do have the Hard Candy Smooth-In Primer Balm. It says it's a creamy texture, grips makeup, helps minimize pores. And I want to say I featured this back in a vlog or a haul, God knows how long ago. But I haven't yet to use it because I wasn't filming, so it pretty much just kind of sat there in my collection. I love the Hard Candy Hydrating Primer. Y'all know that's like holy grail status for me. So I figured I would give this one a try and just see how I like it. Everyone keeps saying it's similar to the E.L.F. Putty Primer. So I figured I'll just see for myself. Here is what the product look like. Sorry for the glare. It's really sunny outside. But it's a nice like creamy, smooth consistency, very balmy. I did purchase the E.L.F. matte poreless putty primer. You guys know I have the Luminous one, and I like the Luminous one. The only thing is I just don't use it because I just kind of feel like anytime a product is targeted towards like dry skin, there's always some kind of like shimmer or some type of like sheen in there, and I don't mind it, but for the most part I would rather have a product that doesn't have any type of like shimmer or sheen in it. So that's why you guys barely ever see me use the Luminous Putty Primer. So I did pick up the matte version because several videos I have seen, everyone says even though it's matte, it's actually hydrated and they like it better than the original. So I figure since everyone says it's hydrating and it's truly not matte, even though it's labeled matte, I figured I would give it a try. So I did pick that product up so I can see how I like it, especially with me having dry skin, and you know, see if it's really hydrating or will I have to mix it with something else. So this one feels really nice. I like how this feels on the skin. I'm gonna go with a little bit more. Probably don't need this much, but I just want a little bit more right here. This feels really nice, y'all, and it's blending into the skin really nicely. Like, my skin looks so smooth. All right, I cannot wait to see how the foundation is gonna apply on top of this, because this feels really good. Like, my skin looks so smooth. So I have two products in front of me because I can't decide which one I want to play with. I have the E.L.F. Camo Cc I have the E.L.F. Camo Cc Cream, and it's supposed to be a color correcting full coverage natural finish. This product is not new to the market. It's new to me because when it came out I was not filming at the time. And then I seen the Milani Hydrating Skin Tint, which looks like this. So I really want to play with the E.L.F. one. Like, I really want to. But I think since the Milani one is a little bit more newer on the market, I'll just play with this one instead. So it says Milani Glow Hydrating Skin Tint. I have it in the shade 310 medium to dark. It has in 29% squalene plus electrolyte coconut water blend, and it says sheer to light coverage, melts into skin for a natural dewy glow. All right, so let's see. I feel like everybody's coming out with like your natural coverage type of complexion product, and I don't mind it, but at the same time, you guys know I prefer a medium to full coverage type of product. It's just my preference because I kind of feel like either I'm wearing makeup or I'm not wearing makeup. There is no in between, but it's nice to have, you know, it go to that's natural for every day. So I'm gonna see what this product look like. The shade 310, I want to say was the second to the darkest shade. I got mine at Target, and it wasn't really like a huge shade range for it because I mean it is a skin tint, so I don't really expect much of anything in terms of a shade range. But I want to say it was the second to the darkest. All right, let's add a little bit more. They weren't lying when it says sheer coverage, because oh, this thing has absolutely zero coverage. And I'm pushing the product into my skin, because typically when you push the product into your skin, you at least get the most coverage that way compared to like swiping it. But y'all, there's hardly anything in terms of coverage, but I can't knock it because it says it's sheer to light coverage, so I can't really knock it for having zero coverage because it doesn't claim to have coverage. So it's definitely one of those products that I would just throw on to like go to the beach or have something on my face. But it makes the skin look really pretty though, I will say that. And the shade actually works. I haven't had the best of luck in like shade matching my foundations recently because of my winter skin color. And I'm the kind of person, I'm not gonna buy a product because it's the winter or buy a product because it's the summer. I'm gonna use that one foundation year round and just make it work. So I just kind of feel like right now the colors have been off, but this one is perfect, so that makes me happy. I'm just going back in one more time to see if I can build it up just a little bit. I feel like you can honestly go through that product really fast if you're trying to get coverage. You can honestly go through that product really fast. So I would say just mix it with another foundation that actually gives you better coverage, because I love the way it looks on the skin. Like my skin looks really nice. And it has a healthy glow. And having that primer on is honestly making the foundation or the skin tint, it's making it blend so easily. Like my brush is honestly just like gliding on the skin. So that primer is bomb, y'all. All right, so here is what the skin is looking like. So again, nice glow to the skin. I was able to get a little bit of coverage with it in terms of going back a second, third time, but because of how the packaging is in terms of size, it is 1 fluid ounce. You can honestly run out of this product if you try to go over it over and over to get more coverage. So again, I would just mix that with another product and just do it that way because I love the way the skin looks. So moving on into the concealer. I already used this concealer in another video, but I wanted to put the product again. It's going to be the NK Perfection Multi-Use Concealer. It is a super coverage concealer. I have it in the shade 07. So I did put this product once on camera with you guys, but I wanted to use it again in today's video. So you guys already know I love this concealer. Easy to blend out, nice coverage. You can get it at the beauty supply store. All right, you guys, so for my under eye setting powder, I'm just going to take the Believe Beauty Matte Blur Loose Powder in Translucent just to kind of set under my eyes. And then for my all over face powder, I'm going to take the Maybelline Super Stay Full Coverage. It is my newest face powder that I just hauled for you guys in my Ulta haul in the shade 355. All right, just going in with the Maybelline Super Stay for the rest of my face. Y'all, I'm so ready for these brands to come back out with like more full coverage foundations, because again, I appreciate the natural look, embrace your everyday natural beauty, but your girl is ready for some full coverage foundations to come back on the market, because I'm like, right now is like everybody wants to do the natural 5-minute makeup look, which makes sense because in reality that's just where we are in terms of like with the pandemic, people working from home, nobody's really going out, quick 5-minute beat to your face, keep it moving. So I get it from a marketing trend standpoint, but your girl is still ready for that full coverage beat to the gods type of makeup. All right, so face is set. Moving on into bronzer. I don't have a new bronzer because there wasn't really any new bronzers that was out, surprisingly. The only one that's new in my collection is the one from LYS Beauty, and that's not really drugstore, so I don't really have a new drugstore bronzer. So I'm just going to take the one from Physicians Formula. Is the Sculpting bronzer, their butter bronzer, and just bronze up my skin. I need to like change up my skincare routine because my skin is going through it, y'all. All right, so for blush, I do have the E.L.F. Putty blush in the color called Tahiti, which I featured in that Ulta haul as well. I also have the E.L.F. Putty Primer Applicator. It's dirty because, again, I told you guys I kind of filmed this video already. So I already used both of the products. I'm just going to go back into the blush and just take my brush and just dab it in there. And I will say, from me using the product the first time, I think in terms of cream products, I feel like from me using them recently the most, I honestly feel like your fingers is truly the best applicator for it. Do I think the blush can work with the actual brush that comes with it? Yes, because this pot is really small. But when I tried to blend the product out with the actual brush, it just kept making it it just made it more work in terms of trying to blend it out, because of course the brush was adding more product, whereas I was trying to diffuse the product out. So I do think the brush is helpful in terms of getting the product out, since the actual compact is very tiny. But in reality, you could just use your fingers and keep it moving for digging into the blush, and of course applying the product, because the warmth of your fingers just blend it out so nicely. So I don't think the brush is needed. I would honestly say just do without the brush, unless you just want the convenience of not digging your fingers in the actual product. But nonetheless, the product is a really nice product. It's a nice flush of color to the cheeks. I do feel like you get more color payoff with this one compared to the other ones that I've used, because you do see the product on your face, whereas the other ones you have to actually build up the blush. But this one is definitely a nice product, that's for sure. So here is what that looks like for the blush. I'm just gonna go on top of it with my Catrice blush box in the shade called Burgundy, just to set the product. I'm just going to take my sponge and just go over the blush, just to kind of sheer it out just a little bit more, because it still looks pretty intense on the face. All right, I'm just gonna go off camera, do my under eyes, put on my mascara and my lashes, and I will be back to wrap up the video. All right, you guys, so moving on to highlighter. I did feature in another video, it was the LA Colors bronzer, which is actually a highlighter on me in the color called Bronze Beauty, if you guys remember that. Here is what the inside look like, and I told you guys it's definitely not a bronzer, it's more of a highlighter against my skin complexion. They also had the one called Shine Bright, which looks like this. It looks more like a champagne-y type of color, and I'm just gonna pop that in my inner tear duct because I think the color is really pretty, just to give the inner corner some more of a highlighted look. I'm actually gonna use it on my face. This can either go really well or it can go really wrong, because if you look at that, that's really bright. But I mean, it's a first impression. Who really cares, right? All right, let's see. So on me, it looks more like a yellow gold. It's like a yellow gold on my skin complexion. So it's not bad, it's just more of a yellow gold against my skin complexion, but it's not horrible. I think for $1, it's doing the best that it can do for $1, so it's not bad, but I definitely love it more as a inner corner highlight versus using it as a actual cheek highlight. All right, and then for lips, I do have the E.L.F. Retro Paradise Line and Shine Lip Kit. You guys, I had this for the longest. I just never used it because, again, I wasn't filming, so I never got a chance to play with this product. And I figured I would just play with the brown lip liner in this little set. So you do have two brown lip liners. The one that I think I want to use is going to be the darkest one, which is going to be this one right here. I'm just going to take it and line my lips. And I'm going to take the Essence lipstick in the color, this is Nude 03, which is this color right here. And on top of that, I'm just going to take the Hard Candy Glosstopia Ultimate Lip Shine, which is this one right here. I don't think this one has a name, do you? It is called Bronze Gem. Alright, you guys, this is pretty much the completed look, and I must say, I think the standout product for me in this video is going to be the Hard Candy Smoothing Primer Balm, which is, again, this product right here, you guys. This product was amazing, and it made my skin look so, like, smooth, and it definitely helped in terms of, like, minimizing any pores that you may have. I don't really have large pores, but the tiny few that I do have, I definitely feel like it made a huge difference. And I can honestly say, in terms of my makeup application, this is probably one of the best that I've seen it in a long time because of how smooth my skin looked. Typically, I tend to go towards more hydrating primers, but I feel like anytime you have like a hydrating primer, it typically just hydrates your face, and pretty much that's it. It doesn't do anything else in terms of like smoothing or like minimizing pores. So it's one of those things where it's like you can get the face hydrated, you can get the skin hydrated, but that's pretty much it. So I kind of feel like this one being a smoothing primer balm, it definitely made the skin feel really nice and smooth, and it actually didn't feel dry either. Like, it still felt hydrated, which I do appreciate. I feel like lately Hard Candy has been winning in my eyes when it comes down to like face primers. They definitely have some standout products with that, and it also says on here it helps to hydrate the skin, which I definitely do agree with that, because again, my skin definitely still felt hydrated even though it was not technically a hydrating primer. In terms of the Milani skin tint, the Milani skin tint was not a bad product. Again, it is a hydrating skin tint. It does not claim to be a full coverage or medium coverage product. It's definitely what it is, a sheer to light coverage. You can build it up a little bit compared to it looking just straight sheer, which still gives you a nice coverage. I definitely feel like in terms of what it's supposed to be, it definitely did a good job. It wasn't a product that was like, oh my god, I just have to like run to the store and get this product, because again, I like more medium to full coverage products. But in terms of a skin tint, I thought it was really nice. My skin definitely felt hydrated. It definitely looked dewy, and it did have a nice glow to it. And I told you guys, paired with the primer balm, it just made the application process even better. Is it a product that I feel like you have to have in your collection? I don't think it's one of those products that you have to have in your collection. However, at the same time, it's not a bad product either. I definitely have to see how the product wears throughout the day, but in terms of like right now in the moment, it was a pretty good product. Again, it didn't like blow me away, but at the same time, it wasn't bad either. The Putty blush, I told you guys I already used it already, so I already knew how I felt about it. Enjoy the product. I don't think the brush is definitely one of those things that you need to go out and buy. You can honestly just kind of like skip past that product. And then for the Color Icon eyeshadow palette, again, it was a pretty nice palette in terms of the pigmentation, the blendability. I just feel like the E.L.F. bite size is probably a little bit better in terms of those formula being more buttery and being more consistent. Lots of fallout in this palette. Typically fallout doesn't bother me, but this one had a lot of fallout. But for the most part, for the price point and the extra shadow, is still a pretty good product, but the E.L.F. bite size is definitely better to me. And then I did use the E.L.F. Lash It Loud Volumizing Mascara, which I just noticed I did not apply anything to my bottom lashes. So let's do that now so you guys can see how that looks. But this product is definitely a nice product. I definitely love the way it like lengthens my lashes, and also gives it volume, and it does not clump. So E.L.F. definitely did a good job with this product. Again, it's the Lash It Loud Volumizing Mascara. I did use it to prep my lashes, and I also use it on my bottom lashes as well. And again, it does give it some nice length, and it also gives it volume, which I do appreciate. The LA Colors highlight, again, I already tried the quote-unquote bronzer, which is not a bronzer for me, but the actual highlighter. In terms of the glow to my skin, it does give a nice glow. However, I will probably use it more so as a inner corner highlight, because I like the yellow gold against my skin complexion. I just don't like it as an actual highlighter on me. But in terms of the actual like inner corner highlight, I think it's really pretty for that, for it to be $1. And I think that's pretty much all of my new products. The E.L.F. lip liner was definitely very creamy in consistency, and I don't know what took me so long to actually just put with this product, but again, I wasn't filming, so I couldn't use it. But definitely love the lip liner, very creamy in consistency. And I think that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Be sure to give it 2 thumbs up. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.